Earlier this year, I visited Gardaland in Garda, Italy, and there are a few cultural and kind of system differences that I noticed whilst I was on my trip. For example, well, we'll get into that later, but so there are just kind of a few kind of differences between how they kind of operate parks in mainland Europe. Obviously, if you have been to one of mainland Europe parks yourselves, you would have picked up on these things. And then but I'm going to be going specifically into the park and kind of the surrounding area and what there is to do there, because as a person from the English region, there are a few things that we do differently in the UK and in Italy, so it's sure it'll be a nice video to make, just kind of let you all know on the differences. So if you do enjoy, then please subscribe and let's get into it. So let's start with the surrounding area. So when you actually arrive in Garda, there's actually a shuttle bus that you can take to get to the resort, which actually takes a few minutes. But I do have to say, there will be a picture on screen of what I experienced at 9:30 AM when getting on that shuttle bus to go to the park. And as you can see, that does not look like a very enjoyable experience. But it's clearly what the people over there, Italian people, are used to. I don't know whether Italians just have a very lack of kind of, they don't really care about social like bubbles or anything. But it's really interesting how they allow kind of people to be really squashed. But you know, I mean, in the UK this would never happen. I mean, to be fair, if there was a shuttle bus going to Thorpe Park, then I'm sure everyone would get on it. But I don't know. I don't know if there were like not really many laws regarding kind of like the laws are more relaxed regarding stuff like that. But it was just very. It was not a very good experience. I did have to go on one of those buses in the morning for the first day, and then on the second day we were like, oh, well, if we just get on the later bus, then it'll be okay. But then by that point, people had got off the train, because the shuttle buses are actually right outside the train station. So yeah, so then as trains got into the station, people were just pouring out, and therefore made the next bus even kind of the same amount of busyness. So yeah, that was not enjoyable at all. Like my bum was being touched a lot, and it was quite awkward. But yeah, so you in terms of the other stuff around the area, you do have a wide range of hotels to pick from. We personally stayed at Garda Palace Hotel. It had a pool, it had a bed, it had a shower, it had some air. So yeah, there were a few kind of, there were a few like kind of 4-star, 5-star hotels to choose from. And obviously, and there was a McDonald's nearby as well. We got breakfast there both times. And what do I have to say about the breakfast though? The breakfast at McDonald's is not what you would usually find in the UK, because there were kind of, you had these kind of muffins, but you know, like in the UK you have a McMuffin, whereas here you kind of get the muffin and then you get the egg and the bacon on the side. Like, they don't put it in for you. You have to kind of put it in yourself. And then also, what was also quite weird, I mean, obviously I know about Italian kind of food traditions, and then usually have a cold drink and a hot drink in like one meal. But yeah, you got to choose from a hot drink and a cold drink, even though the cold drink was a bit of an extra. But yeah, that was kind of just a main option. Like in the UK you just have one drink, whereas in Italy you kind of have the hot drink, and then they just kind of have a cold drink as they know people will buy it, because obviously that's what they're used to. But yeah, they had, I didn't go there for lunch or dinner. For lunch and dinner, I'll get onto the lunch in the park in a minute, but for dinner, there were some really nice restaurants, obviously Italian food, because obviously we're in Italy, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it was very nice to kind of see pure Italian food, and not just Domino's. Pure Italian pizza and pasta, which was very nice indeed, and was actually not £20 made by Aramark. I feel like every video I mention food, I have to just mention Aramark. I don't know why, because Aramark is like the lowest standard. I feel like I have to make up for it. But yeah, the surrounding area is quite, it has very nice nighttime vibes too. You've got the lake, like the docks and stuff. It's very nice to walk. You've got some pubs as well. I wouldn't say it's unsafe. It's very safe, because obviously it's a very touristic area, so there are obviously going to be a lot of tourists there as well. But so yeah, that's kind of the main. You can look at it in Google Maps if you want, but yeah, it's only like a 5-minute shuttle bus ride to there, and also there is a shuttle bus to Movieland. I didn't get to go there on my trip, unfortunately, but so yeah, that is kind of the main overview of the surrounding area. So now we are going to get into the main meat of the video, which is the actual park. So you arrive at the park outside, obviously, and then you actually get off the bus, and then there's kind of you're greeted with kind of the gift shop, and then there's like a tunnel. So yeah, you have to go under the tunnel to get to the park, and then also, so once you come out of the tunnel, you're kind of greeted with the entrance on the right, but then it's also this kind of big plaza area with the statue in the middle. Then what I kind of found quite weird was the security, because you know in Thorpe Park at Alton Towers, Chessington, etc., they're like streamlining everyone to have their bags searched, whereas in Gardaland there was kind of, you had the main kind of pathway, and then off to the side there was the security, so it felt like security wasn't mandatory, which was quite weird, even though they're kind of directing people to it. Like there wasn't any kind of indication that you'd actually had your bag searched, so people could just walk through without having their bag searched into security and whatever. So that was kind of a big difference I noticed. But yeah, there's clearly less laws regarding kind of safety and stuff, like with the bus of hell. That's my new name. I don't know if the Movieland bus is any better. I think, although to be fair, when I went, I looked at the Movieland stop, and it was quite. There were less people there, so I'm guessing that it was less busy on the bus. Oh yeah, there's only 2 stops, you can't just guess on halfway through like the journey. You have to, there's either the station or the park. You kind of, oh yeah, I'll get onto the park in a bit, but so yeah, you have the entrance on the right, and then before you actually get let in, there's this show which is on top of the entrance. It kind of involves all the characters, and Presamolo, the mascot, they're having a little dance and being like Gardaland, which is probably playing in the background of my other Gardaland videos if you haven't heard it by now. And then also there's going to be a link to one of my other Gardaland videos. I don't know which one I'm going to pick. In the top right, there, yes, there. Go watch it. If you haven't already. So yeah, you have the Gardaland, and then you will get let in, and then they're split off into 2 paths. One kind of leads you down, although to be fair, they all really go to the same place anyway. But we went on the right, which we came past across the old Gardaland entrance, because as they got bigger, they realised, this probably isn't going to be efficient enough for when Merlin buys us, and they introduce loads of really big show buildings and really big IPs. So yeah, you go down into this old entrance, and then you kind of greeted with like the main. It's not really themed, but they just kind of got a carousel and a few kind of flat rides. This is not about the ride. This is about the experience. But yeah, you have to show your ticket on entry, obviously. But yeah, it's just to scan it. It's like the normal ticket entrance kind of thing. There's not anything different. But then one thing I do want to talk about is the ride kind of counter policy. So on every ride there is a kind of screen. In like the batching area. Like say, let's say Swarm. Before you get split off into the 2 paths, like over the bridge or under the bridge, there's kind of this kind of screen which basically tells you how many seats there are that are free. So it basically means that you don't. I explained this in another video, in my last video, but you can actually see how many people are free, like on each row. Like you don't have to kind of look for yourself and like look around to see if there's any twos or whatever. But I think it's a really nice way of just kind of judging, especially for single riders as well, because if it just says 1, then you can go. So that is also a very useful thing to do. In terms of, and then also, but in terms of that, it's just kind of normal. Although to be fair, also, oh yeah, the on-ride filming policy. There isn't one. There is only one for the rides, but you can film on the Gardaland, the water ride. Though I say it's a water ride, it should be a coaster because it literally has coaster track, but apparently it doesn't count as a coaster on RCDB. So yeah, I'm not counting it as a credit, unfortunately, because I would really like to get my count up 73. If you have more than that, then you should. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, it's quite relaxed. You can film on the rapids, you can film on the dark rides, film on this and that. That's very useful information. But yeah. So you have a less kind of restrictive filming policy than Alton Towers or Thorpe Park, whatever. Also the rapids, there aren't any doors because obviously you haven't had any incidents, unlike the UK with the unfortunate Drayton Manor incident. But this is about Gardaland, not rapid incidents. But yeah. So another thing I would like to mention is the food, is the restaurant kind of policy. There aren't any screens, so you have to order. If it's okay if you don't know Italian, because everyone there speaks English. I mean, they obviously speak Italian, but they also speak English. And the menus are in English as well, so you don't have to like kind of translate it and everything. You have to do some rubbish Italian pronunciation, like. But yeah. And then also that also helps. So if you have ever been to a foreign theme park, you usually just do like usually if you don't learn the like 1 to 10 in the language, you just go like 3. But yeah, I think it's not too difficult to kind of understand. So yes, I had it. Obviously, it's owned by Merlin. It's obviously going to have like a kind of English adaptations to it, including stuff like that, having the menus in English. The rides are in English. Everything is just in English. There isn't really any kind of barriers you have to get over to kind of enjoy the full park experience. You don't feel like you feel welcome, and that's what it should be. It should be welcome for everyone involved, so everyone to have the best experience, apart from on the bus where you're going to get trampled to death. No, but yeah, I would say if you were in a more kind of outside, like local theme park, I would say it would be a bit harder to kind of understand and kind of adapt to it, because I feel like they're not going to get as many tourists, so therefore they don't need to put everything in English. I feel quite like we as English speakers are quite kind of lucky, because we don't have to kind of learn any new languages, because everyone just speaks English, because English is the most popular language. I haven't learned that already. Whereas if you were Italian and you went to an English theme park, nothing would be in Italian, so it would be harder to understand. But I guess if you are from a foreign country, you just learn English in school. But in English, in England we don't really kind of properly learn another foreign language. Like you have your Spanish, French, and German, but you don't get it like drilled into your brain from the age of 5. It's just kind of hola, mi amo, J, like. It's just it's not like you don't become fluent in it at school. Like I mean, if you do A level and university and stuff, like you probably do, but you get what I mean. So yeah, it's quite. I wouldn't say, apart from the only thing I would really say is be wary of your surroundings. So obviously, if you're in a tourist area. We had a man come up to us while we were eating lunch and offer us sunglasses. I was a bit confused. So it was just like, he was like kind of giving it, it was like kind of here, have my sunglasses, and I was like, this is outside the theme park. I'm switching between outside and inside the theme park. But yeah, it's a bit weird. But obviously you should be okay. There's not really, you can pay in cash or card. So yeah, very useful information. If you do have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comments and I'll answer them. But yeah, Gardaland is a very safe and welcoming place for tourists overall. The bus kind of stop and stuff like that is very easy to navigate. But yeah, so that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to do this for like Universal or Emerald Park or like kind of other kind of foreign theme parks I've been to, then let me know down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed, then please subscribe. And this video will be uploaded in a few days from when I'm recording this, because I'll be on holiday for the next week. So I don't want to be kind of stressed about uploading stuff. So this will be going out in a few days, and I'll also be doing a short. Then we'll be back to regular uploading schedule, which is probably about a few days, like it usually is. But anyway, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.